Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. This dog is trying so hard to get up on my bed. Come on, Charlie. Are you up here? Are you still happy you're up here? I was washing all of my bedding today. And so when I do that, I don't want them up here because I don't want them laying on my mattress, because trying to get dog hair out of that would be a huge pain. Versus they get it on again, my blankets or whatever. Which the red one is the one that they're supposed to be laying on. But if they wind up getting it on my blankets, I can just wash it. It's way harder to try and vacuum the mattress or try and get dog hair out of the mattress. That's why, like I said, I don't like them being up on my bed. And especially too though, right after I wash my blankets, I don't like them coming up on my bed unless I have their their red blanket down, and so it was still in the dryer, so they couldn't be up here for a while. So finally I just put it back on, and Charlie is so happy that he gets to come back up on the bed. But guys, today I actually, oh my gosh, it's late. I still have to go and take a shower. I swear, I should not be allowed on my phone after 10 o'clock because I get so distracted. And the worst part is that I start to procrastinate going to bed or taking a shower and going to bed. I honestly, no lie, was probably done. I was watching one TV show. I was like, I'm gonna watch one TV show and go to bed. And I finished it at about 11:30. It's now 1:30 and I need to go and take a shower and get to bed. But like I said, it's because for the last 2 hours at least, I was on my phone scrolling through all kinds of random stuff. And that's the thing too, is that I don't have games on my phone or anything like that for me to get distracted on. And I don't even get really distracted a lot of times on social media. Sometimes I will, I'll wind up just scrolling through videos, and then I wind up watching all kinds of random DIYs and all kinds of random stuff. But honestly, the worst time that I wind up getting distracted and just my time gets totally sucked right away from me is winding up just searching for random stuff. I'll be like, oh, I should look up this thing, or I should look up that thing. Or again, I'll see something and then it jogs my memory, and oh, I should look that up and figure out how to do that. I'll be looking up oh, what type of plants are really good to still plant at this time of the year, vegetables or something like that. And then I'll get distracted, and then I'll start looking up something about composting, and then I'll start looking up something about I don't know, backyard design ideas. Or else then I'll start looking up something on Redfin or Zillow, other houses, and then I'll start looking at their backyards and be like, ooh, I wonder how that house looks. Or that's why I got distracted on today. I was looking up really old vintage houses because my mom sent me one, and she was like, oh, this house is really cute, look at it. And I was like, okay. And then I looked at it because it was somewhere I think near where she works, so she drove past it, so she was looking it up. And yeah, it was a really cute little old vintage house. It was I didn't like the outside, the front of it. It didn't seem like it had a front I don't know, entryway sort of thing. It was just sort of I don't know, it didn't really seem like it was a formal entryway. So then I got distracted, and I sent her another one in a different town that looked very similar, because then it has the similar ones underneath that. That's what I got distracted on today. But the other day I got distracted when, like I said, I was looking up all of the random vegetable garden stuff, and then looking up oh, like I said, composting, all that kind of stuff. And my time, like I said, it's been 2 hours almost now where I am just I should have been in bed already. I should have been asleep already. And I'm not, because I'm, like I said, was ready for bed 2 hours ago, and I should be asleep right now, and I'm not. And that's what I think is frustrating to me, is just I get super distracted. But other times it's just like I said, I just wind up looking up just random stuff that my brain, that just pops into my brain, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should look that up, oh, I should figure out what that is, oh, I should look up some math equation. It'll be really, 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 really random. Like I said, doesn't really make any sense. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, like I said, I'll just think of something and then be like, oh yeah, I should look that up. It could be something that, again, I did in math class, 8 years ago, and I'm like, I don't remember what the equation was for that. I'm like, and I'll wind up looking it up, and it's really, like I said, really dumb stuff that just like, I don't need to even know that, like, why am I looking that up? Sometimes though too, I'll wind up looking, like I said, like up like DIY stuff, or sometimes I will get a little lost on Pinterest, but I don't consider that like completely mindless social media, even though it is. Like, to me, Facebook and like Twitter and Instagram, that is like mindless. Like, I'm watching other people like do things, and it's not even really like educational. I feel like Pinterest is more of an educational outlet as far as social media goes. And like I said, sometimes if I get lost on like randomly watching videos and they're more educational videos, but sometimes they're just completely like clickbait, like I said, like time wasting kind of stuff. And but like Pinterest, I feel like it is like, as long as I'm looking up like my niche of stuff that I, again, can be looking up, like, again, like vegetable gardens, or, again, like actual like DIY things or whatever, and like educating myself, I don't feel like that is so much a waste of time as much as, like I said, just social media is. But again, something random that pops into my head, I'm like, oh, you know what, I have a lot of like XYZ in the pantry, I should use that up. Let's go and look up a recipe for that. Even though I'm not cooking it or using it right now, like, I will just randomly, like I said, start wasting my time doing I don't know what. And then all of a sudden, like I said, it's 2 hours later and I should have been asleep already. And like, that's the biggest problem, is that at night, again, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just pop on like real quick, just like, again, sort of check all my bases, whatever, on social media or something like that, and then I'll go to bed. And then, like I said, that's when that's not what happens. I wind up getting distracted on something else. Or again too, like, I will be scrolling on social media, something pops up, and then I'm like, oh, I should look that up, and then I go and look that thing up, and then, like I said, it's hours later and I've wasted my entire time. So yeah, that's why, like, at nighttime it's really bad, because it's worse, because then I want to keep looking stuff up because I don't want to go to bed. And so I'm like trying to, like I said, procrastinate actually going and taking a shower, actually going to bed, that I wind up, like I said, distracting myself and going on down some rabbit hole of something I found on the internet. So yeah, guys, that's why I'm really frustrated in myself, because I know that this is never good, and like, this is the one time it winds up like sparking for me, like, now I might not wake up early tomorrow, which is probably what's going to happen, because I didn't wind up waking up really early today. I feel like that's also why I'm not very tired right now. Like, yesterday I was watching my show at the exact same time, and I ended up falling asleep actually, and I had to rewatch it during the day today, because I didn't wind up, like I said, like being able to finish watching it last night, because I fell asleep and missed like the last 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, well, I'll rewatch it today. And then tonight I was like, okay, I'll watch it again, like another episode. And I ended up doing that, and then I didn't like get tired at all. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just, like I said, pop on social media. And I was like, okay. And then, like I said, my mom sent me something, and then I got lost and distracted. And now, like I said, this is how it's 2 hours later. But yeah, so that's why I feel like I didn't wake up super late today either. I only woke up at about 9 o'clock or 9:30 or something like that. So in all honesty, I should be tired. I should want to go to bed, but like, I've been waking up over the weekend, like since Friday and then Saturday and Sunday, because my dad was home all 3 of those days. So that's why I was waking up though really early on those days, for the most part, like 8 o'clock or earlier. And so that's why I think I was so tired yesterday night, and I fell asleep. And then because I actually got like more sleep than I was sort of used to, that's why I'm like, I'm not really tired right now, because I felt like I got so much sleep and like totally re-energized, and now it's late and I need to be in bed already. But we did wind up getting, I got my bedding washed. I did like 3 loads of laundry today. I did dishes. I ended up editing and uploading today also. Me, my dad, and Jack all together ended up cleaning out the refrigerator, which we did everything but the door, because my dad was like, I need to take a shower and get to bed. And so we're gonna finish that up hopefully tomorrow, or I might just be able to finish that. But the main like yucky part of the fridge needed to be cleaned out, because I don't know how it happened. I told you guys on Father's Day, or no, on Saturday, when we ended up doing breakfast for Father's Day, somehow we ran out of syrup, and I swore that we had syrup because I remember the last time that we ended up using the Blackstone, we had syrup. My mom did get some like French toast sticks, and so like she ended up buying them, and I was like, you know, like assumed that somebody had used up the syrup because we didn't have any syrup on Saturday, and so I assumed that somebody used up the syrup from the, you know, having the French toast sticks. But there was something sticky that spilled, sort of, and then it spilled again, and somehow it ended up actually sticking to the freezer door, and the freezer door has been really hard to open because there's sticky syrup all over it. So when I was going through the fridge sort of a little bit when I was putting groceries away, I was like, what is all this stuff all over the place in here? And I cleaned, like was sort of cleaning through it, and I realized that we must have had syrup. I think it spilled and somebody threw it away, and my dad was like, it might have been me, but like it might have happened like early one morning, and apparently nobody used the syrup actually for the French toast sticks. Like I said, somehow it must have spilled in the refrigerator, and my dad thinks that maybe he threw it away because like it was just like empty, and he noticed that like maybe it spilled, but it was like really early in the morning, like before he left for work, and he's like, honestly, I can't remember doing it entirely. He's like, but I do remember throwing something away that was like empty or like fell out of the fridge or something like that. So I think that we had syrup. I think it spilled all over the refrigerator, and I think that like I said, somebody ended up throwing it away, and yeah, then that's why we didn't have any syrup on Saturday, and made Matthew have to go to Aldi on Saturday and go and get more syrup because, like I said, I think our actual syrup was still in the fridge. We would have had enough based on how much spilled in the refrigerator, but like I said, we had to go and get more because it was all in the refrigerator. It was not in a bottle anymore. So, and then I was like, okay, well, like, you know, even if we didn't have enough, we were gonna get, had a deal on more of it at Jewel on Sunday, and so then, but we didn't, again, we needed it on Saturday, not on Sunday, so that's what ended up sort of being frustrating. But that was one of the reasons I was like, we need to like deep clean the refrigerator. So honestly, it took us maybe a half an hour to an hour at most between the three of us to get everything cleaned. Like I said, we didn't completely finish the door. My dad sort of organized the stuff on the door, but we didn't actually clean it out. So that's the only thing that still has to be done, and there's no syrup on the door, so the syrup was somehow in the fridge and somehow spilled everywhere, all over the place. So like I said, that got cleaned out today, but that was sort of like our extra little project because again, I think I was telling you guys, I actually wanted to get that done over the weekends, but we weren't able to. So we're trying to come up with like little project sort of things to do during the week, because again, this weekend my mom has to work her normal shift on Friday night. So we're going to, and then on Thursday, she's actually working, they have a, like a town festival in the town where she works, and she's volunteering, for their booth. So, and I think we're going to go and like say hi to her coworkers because we've never met them or anything like that. But, like I said, that is where we're going on Thursday. So I should have a grocery haul for you guys on Wednesday. Actually, we might still be able to fit it in and go on Friday if we go before she goes to work, because like I said, it'll be a normal hour, so she doesn't leave until 11:30. But over the weekend though, we have no time to really do any projects because she will be sleeping all the time. And again, too, like, on top of that, they have something else that's going on Sunday where they're supposed to be like getting overtime or something like that. It's supposed to be an hour, but it might actually wind up taking longer possibly. That my mom will be gone on Sunday, so like her sleep schedule is probably going to be very, very much messed up this weekend just because of her extra shift, and then having like the extra time that she also has to work on Sunday sort of too. And then also like the Thursday thing shouldn't really affect her all of that much, but it's like she has a lot of stuff that's going on this weekend. And so like I said, she like our schedule too for like just grocery shopping is going to wind up having to change, and like her like I said, you know, like her sleep schedule too is going to be really off. Why we can't really do any loud project like running the saw outside because my dad really wanted to cut a piece of like plywood yesterday. I knew my mom was gonna wind up hearing that, and I kept telling my dad like I wouldn't run it like the circular saw, because like I said, he wanted to cut some plywood that he had to fit for something, and I was like, I wouldn't do it if I were you. And so like again, like that kind of stuff, like we can't do anything. We can do, again, quiet things. We can organize out in the garage like we did yesterday, but again, as far as like any loud, like, you know, even lawn mowing and stuff like that, like we can't even do that, because she will wind up hearing it and wind up waking up. And again, her schedule is a little bit more packed, and she has a little bit more, like I said, you know, stuff going on this week. So that is why, again, like she has got, like I said, changing, you know, not changing to her schedule, but just other things sort of going on. So anyways, you know, we're trying to fill in as much stuff sort of that we can do during the week as possible. So like I want to get the vegetable garden bed in, and I'm probably gonna have to maybe do that tomorrow, or like maybe even on Wednesday or something like that. I don't know, but again, I'll try and keep you guys informed as to what we get done. But today was the refrigerator got cleaned and organized, which I'm happy about. And I got all of the produce that was in there too all cut up. So I made salad, I cut broccoli and cauliflower and pineapple also too. So that's all cut up and organized in Tupperware in the refrigerator, and then everything else that we have in the fridge too. But anyways, I ended up getting through, again, a good amount of stuff today that I needed to, as far as, like I said, all of my normal scheduled stuff, but then also too like the refrigerator cleaning out, which was good. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.